Alright, here we are on the Gateway Pundit. Massive farmers demonstration in Madrid against failed and crippling EU green policies and regulations. So you have farmers in the Netherlands, you have farmers in Germany, you have farmers in France, and now Spain. Spanish farmers are some of the latest to mobilize, and they now seem to be gaining significant momentum. Thousands of farmers gathered in central Madrid today as part of their ongoing protest against both the EU and local farming policies. Yeah, so not only do they have to worry about EU policies, but also their local government policies. Talk about getting double slapped. It's the biggest protest to take place in Madrid, Spain. It comes after a fortnight of daily protests across the country. Actions will include a rally outside the Agriculture Ministry headquarters. Many of the tractors flew Spanish flags, and some farmers carried banners reading, "There is no life without farming." Yep, that could be why the government's trying to get involved with it so much, but anyway. And farmers in extinction. It is impossible to live from our rural industry. Yeah, 'cause they're getting taxed, and now you have all that green climate cultist stuff going on. It's making the life of a farmer next to impossible. Which is what we want, to live from our work. That is all we ask for. Sylvia Rez, 46, a livestock farmer from the north-central area of Burgos, told the press. Organizers said they were bringing 500 tractors and many more farmers on buses. Similar protests have taken place across the bloc. In recent weeks, farmers complain that the 27-nation EU's policies on the environment and other matters are financial burdens. Yeah, and make their products more expensive than non-EU, yeah, countries that don't have all these carbon taxes and enviro green cultist stuff, like China, for example. Spain and the European Commission, the EU's executive arm, have made some concessions in recent weeks, but farmers say they are insufficient. So apparently, farmers are upset that wholesale major supermarket buyers aren't paying fair prices for their agricultural produce. I guess that was supposed to be enforced so that farmers don't get taken advantage of. At least that's my understanding of it. Anyway, let's carry on. Meanwhile, in France, President Emmanuel Macron is under even more pressure from angry farmers. Macron is expected to attend the opening of France's major annual agricultural fair this weekend in Paris. Ahead of that test, Prime Minister Gabriel Attal sought Wednesday to convince the agricultural sector that he is speeding ahead with promised efforts to make farming more lucrative and simpler. You want to make it more lucrative and simpler? Get the government out of it. Just let the farmers farm and don't tax them to crap with your carbon taxing and your green cultist agenda. In recent weeks across Europe, farmers have made themselves heard with a cry of anger, a cry that comes from down deep. He said, behind this cry is most of all a call for action. And you know what? That would have never have happened if the government just didn't stick their nose in farming. But anyway, Attal promised a series of measures such as strengthening the hand of French farmers in commercial negotiations with distributors, make it easier and cheaper for farmers to hire seasonal workers. It sounds like imported workers, but okay. Including from abroad. Work to protect French farmers against imports from Ukraine of chicken, eggs, sugar, and cereals. I've heard that Ukraine is selling their agricultural stuffs pretty cheap, which would undercut the French farmers. Anywho, I saw this article on the Gateway Pundit, and it's nice to see that the farmers are, making their voice heard all across Western Europe. But you know what? If the government just kept their nose out of the farming, they wouldn't be having this problem. You look at other governments that stuck their nose in farming. Uh, Mao, Stalin, what did it lead to? A complete collapse of the farming. Anywho, take care out there in clown world.